Here you go.
Thanks.
You can talk to me about anything you want. Okay? I just don't understand where all this attitude has come from. I mean, you've been around gay people your entire life. Where's all this homophobia come from? Unless someone's making you say it.
What? No. What are you talking about?
So what is it then?
It's Dylan.
Dylan?
He said he, liked me. And I just don't really know how to be around him after that.
I see. But you still want to hang out with him?
Yeah. I mean, he's all right, It's just awkward now. And I miss how things used to be before he said all that.
So what is it about Dylan that makes him so all right?
I don't know. I mean, we both like football, and he could be a right laugh. One time we used fire extinguishers to make a jetpack chair. And he just doesn't care about what anyone thinks, I mean, you'd have to not care to wear them ridiculous cardigans, but he just pulls them off. Sounds weird, doesn't it?
Nope. If Dylan is in love with you, it's not his fault. You understand that, right? I mean, that's why they call it falling in love. It's involuntary. It's uncontrollable.
Maybe he's just not sure about his feelings. Like, how can you tell the difference between someone you fancy and just, a best friend?
Well, the short answer is you just do.
What's the long answer?
Well, it's like a jolt of electricity goes through your body when you see them. And everything they do makes you smile.
How would you know that?
Because I have been in exactly the same position as Dylan. I was about your age when I first fell in love. His name was Craig. And we were best friends at school. And telling him that I had feelings for him was one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do.
How come?
Oh, he was confused. And I was terrified of rejection. Now, Dylan might be in love with you, but that's not a reason for you to be angry with him. He'll get over it, and in the meantime, he has to respect your boundaries, and then, in turn, you can decide whether or not you want to be friends with him.
How can I make it up to him?
Be honest with him. Show him how sorry you are.
Okay. Yeah, I will.
Good lad.
We are going to need much more decorations than just that banner. This Pride Festival, it's going to be all over the village.
Sally, relax. We've got you covered.
Yeah.
Dylan's going to love this,
Yeah, it's a really nice gesture.
Oh, I love Pride.
What's your favourite Pride?
Oh, gosh, there's too many to mention. London 93, that was my first one. And then Brighton 2000, classic. Then, of course, Manchester 2010. Khalees was performing. I do kind of like that little milkshake song.
What about you? You ever been to Pride?
Yeah. I went to one a couple of years back in the village. I think my dad dressed up as a sailor or something.
Yes, he did.
I'd definitely be at this one. Show my support.
Good lad.
Right, what have we got down here?
Look, I'm not going to say anything to your dad about what happened at school, okay? But you must promise, and I mean promise, that I will never hear another homophobic word come out of your mouth.
Promise.
Good.
So have you got anything lined up? Anything planned for this one?
Yeah. There is the map and order of service.
Oh. Glitter party. And the mayor's doing a speech. Sounds like a right laugh.
Ah, yes. I'm afraid the mayor is cut from the same cloth as Mr. Shepherd. He hardly ever smiles.
Mr. Shepherd ain't that bad. I've seen him smile loads of times.
Really?
Yeah. And he's really supportive of my extra classes as well.
Well, why don't you invite Mr. Shepherd to Pride? Because if there's one thing that I know about Mr. Shepherd, it's that he is very supportive of his queer students.
Yeah, of course he is.
I'm so glad you feel you can talk to me about this.
Listen, I have been to Pride plenty of times with our Scott, and I completely support it. But I just feel like it's inappropriate for Rose at this age.
Well, of course. I mean, can you imagine if Rose said to you she wanted to go to a straight party where there was alcohol and gyrating adults? You'd have exactly the same issue, wouldn't you?
Well, exactly, and that's what I've been saying. But Tony won't even have a conversation with me about it. He just shuts me down. He's just accepting all this transition and stuff. And I'm not saying that I'm against it or anything, but I don't know why we can't slow things down and get some advice.
I couldn't agree more. And I'll be honest with you. It's gonna be a bumpy road. She's gonna get bullied, trolled. Is Rose strong enough to deal with that?
I don't want her to go through any of that.
No, of course you don't. That's your maternal instincts kicking in. But changing your name is one thing, but where does it stop? I mean, can you imagine if Rose went to this concert tonight and insisted on using the men's toilets? We all know what drunk men can be like.
Listen, you know those one-to-one extra lessons you mentioned? If I sign Rose up to them, do I need Tony's signature?
If it means protecting Rose, which is, of course, what we all want, then I don't see why we can't bend the rules.
Our Rose is so lucky to have someone like you looking out for her.
Excuse me. Mr. McQueen, to what do I owe this pleasure?
I'd like a word.
Are you?
Hello, Diane.
Well, if you wouldn't mind making it quick, I'm discussing a private matter with Mrs. Hutchinson.
Oh, feel free to join us.
Well, yeah, of course. We have some soft drinks somewhere.
It's very kind, but I won't be staying long. I just wanted to bring to your attention a disciplinary matter. Lucas Hay made some quite severe homophobic comments at school.
Lucas? Really? Didn't think he was that sort of lad.
Honestly, Diane, neither did I. You never know who's influencing our children, do you?
Well, thank you for bringing this to my attention. I'll be sure to speak to him personally.
Oh, there's no need. No, Lucas came to see me privately and apologized. He even helped make some decorations for the Pride Festival. Bless him. I will be keeping a very close eye on Lucas and looking out for any homophobic behavior should it rear its ugly head.
Excellent work, Mr. McQueen.
Please. It's my duty to protect the school and to make sure that it remains an inclusive, safe haven for all of our young people. Bye, Diane.
See ya.
We asked for an ambulance.
There you are. What have you said to Mr. McQueen?
Nothing, it's not what you think.
Really? Have you told him what we talk about in our lessons?
Oh, of course not.
I don't believe you. You made me look like a fool. I know it's not your fault that your father's a sinner, but I made the effort. I stepped up. I saved you from sinning with Dylan. I saved you from yourself. And this is how you repay me.
No, sir, I'm still completely committed to getting better.
It's all talk.
It's not. Right, I listened to Mr. McQueen's little love story, painting his stupid banners. But he trusts me. He told me the details of Pride, the route of the parade, security.
What are you getting at?
We shouldn't be living in the shadows anymore. They're the ones out living in sin. Let's do what God wants us to do. Act as his enforcers. Let's give him a pride to remember.